Hi, folks. This is Rosie at Always Rosie's Life. Are you newly retired or have you been retired for quite some time? What are you retired from? A career, most likely, or a job that you've held for many, many years and at least long enough to pull a pension. Well, I have never had a job or a career that has allowed me to create some sort of a pension. I have Social Security coming up. I'm 66 years old, and I plan to not draw from my Social Security for another 4 years. And that means that in this 4 years, life is still happening. Just like with you, life is still happening. You have not checked out of life. You have just been redirected. Now, in my adult life, I have done many things and I've experienced many things. I've experienced grief, I've experienced marriage and divorce, the birth of children, the death of siblings, and I've held many, many jobs. And that's what they were. They were jobs. They were not my career. Actually, my longest job that I have held was my business as a content writer. And the reason I was in that business for so long was for one simple thing. It allowed me the freedom to do and be what I wanted to be. That was most important to me. And over the years, I've seen that where things have happened and I've held certain positions, and that position for whatever reason has ended, and I've been able to just say, okay, what's next? Because my personality is best when I have a beginning and an end, not a time clock. And that might be what you're experiencing if you're having trouble transitioning from retirement to redirection, because there is no time clock. And suddenly the schedule disappears. You're not supposed to, or you don't have to wake up at a certain time in the morning. You don't have to take a shower every morning in order to be ready for work. You don't have to put on makeup or a uniform or whatever else is necessary in order to get to that job and fulfill your responsibilities there. Suddenly, none of that matters anymore. So, what do you do now? What do you do now? And I am just chatting here. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just sharing as if you were across the table from me with a good cup of coffee. Now, in my case, when my career ended in 20, my so-called career ended in 2023, my business fell apart after AI came on the scene. And trust me, um, I'm not dissing AI or anyone who uses AI. This is just a fact that happened to me. But the content writing industry changed really quickly. And the clients that I had depended on in order to make a living disappeared or redirected themselves, or they went off in and needed other things that I couldn't supply. So nearly overnight, my business was changed. And I could have really fallen apart at that point. Now, I had a day where I was shell shocked. I am going to be honest. I was completely shell shocked because, as someone who does not have a career, I didn't have much backup at all. So I had to put something in place in order to move forward. And that's where redirection comes in. Sometimes it's bouncing, it's falling to the bottom and bouncing back up. But at that moment, when I really started assessing where I was, I saw so many good things that could come from the fact that my business had disappeared. One of them was, maybe this is time you're 60, I think I was 64 at the time. You're 64 years old. When are you going to do and follow the purpose that you really, the passion that you really had nearly your entire life? And that was art. I was going to high school simply to get to my art class. Even though I was a good student, my purpose for going to high school was to go to my art class. And that was really where I wanted to go as an adult, was to become a full-time artist. But it didn't pan out the way I expected or wished that it could have panned out. And at that point, I could have given up. I could have said, well, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to be what I want to be. So I might as well just settle. And over the years, life happened like it happens to all of us. I mean, we see mountains, we see swamps, we see deserts in our lifetime, and all of these things are definitely difficult to get through. But in the end, we still have breath, and we can still move forward in this gigantic adventure that we are on. At this point, I have spent the last a little over a year and a half or so, really developing an art business. And that is not an easy career. Let me be honest about that. However, what I found was all of the things that I had done and experienced over my 66 years played into where I was going next. I implemented a lot of the skills that um, I used in my content writing business in order to move forward in the art business. And I had no idea if that was the right way to do it or if that was the standard way to do it. It was my way to do it. And I've been successful, considering I've only been doing this for a year and a half. I've been successful. I'm in 4 art galleries at the moment and 1 Main Street business. And the financial aspect of it is starting to show itself. That's always the last guy to the party, isn't it? The finances, the income. But as the year drew closer to December, I had given myself a slight guideline where I knew how much time I was going to devote 100% to this business, and and then really pay attention to what I was going to do to fill in the gaps, because I knew I wasn't going to give up on it. It's it is now or never. And I plan to spend the rest of my adventure as an artist. I also have bills, just like we all do. And I started finding, I knew that I was not good in a time clock situation. I love my freedom. I like to go where I want, when I want, how I want. And I really did not want to give that up. That was first and foremost. And so I've picked up a couple of extra things along the way. I do farm sitting and pet sitting for some people to bring in a little bit of an income. And I have some other forms of income. I think as an older person, I think the smart way for me to do it is multiple streams of income and not depend on one single paycheck in order to manage my finances. So odd jobs like that really work for me. I'm not a rich person yet. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? And I think that's part of it, is understanding that we don't know what's going to happen. We can plan, we can create an itinerary for our life, we can pack our vitamins and our favorite clothes and decide on a destination. But there are other factors involved, and sometimes our path in life gets switched or gets turned, or we take a detour in order to avoid something or run into something. We don't know. But in the end, it's all good. We have picked up skills along the way in order to help us move forward. And we've learned to be resilient and to be open minded and open hearted. And we don't know where we're going. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but our job is to create the best now possible, because that's what helps us create our future. And the best thing that you can do is understand that this is not a retirement from life. This is just a redirection. So where are you going to go in your next adventure? Like and subscribe and comment and share with me what you've done in order to redirect yourself at this point in your life journey. Bye. You have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.